Hello and welcome to The Pulse. I'm Claire Sechrist.
And I'm Josue Jorge. Coming up, we will turn to the outpouring of support for Ukraine during the ongoing war with Russia, and how those in Connecticut are trying to help.
Then we go to Bridgeport to see how residents are trying to save a local farm. How about taking a look into an important public radio station right here on campus? We'll also have a sit-down interview with an organization trying to spread awareness about gun violence.
Let's go on the road with Sacred Heart's pep band, meet the women in STEM at SHU, and come with us to the gallery to see the work for SHU's art and design students. All that coming up on this edition on The Pulse.
From Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut, this is The Pulse.
The war in Ukraine has raged on for more than a month, taking its toll on an entire nation. Here at Sacred Heart, the Chapel of the Holy Spirit was host to area Ukrainian churches in the Sacred Heart community. They gathered together to express prayers, support, and concrete actions to help the people of Ukraine.
We come together today, not as acquaintances, but as brothers and sisters in solidarity.
May those who are entangled in this Russo-Ukrainian war, both civilian and military, be free from harm and danger.
In my life, I saw different projects in the world that were people was trying to do something together, but I never seen anything like this, that the whole world was united around something, what is going on. And unfortunately, this is a sad reason to be united, but it's also a good sign that we all have something what we believe in together.
Our hearts are with all the people of Ukraine.
Peace, faith, hope, and love will be flooding out into the desert and setting all the captives free.
We are sincerely grateful to you all for your solidarity and support in this extremely difficult time for my homeland.
Stamford, Connecticut is home to St. Vladimir's Cathedral. Established in 1916, is the seat of the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church. Ukrainian Americans have been gathering at the church to pray for their ancestral country, as Christian Abraham reports.
On the eve of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Father Ihor Midzak opened up St. Vladimir's Cathedral in Stamford so area residents could come and say prayers for family and friends now in harm's way. Throughout the evening, people trickled in to light a candle, sit with each other, and even stop to give interviews to News Nation's anchor, Ashley Banfield.
2014, so we're part of that as well.
Well, my parents were post-war immigrants. They fled Stalin, who killed in turn millions of Ukrainians, put millions in Gulag camps, and now history repeating itself. But I have my own relatives, their cousins, uncles, and nephews, and my wife was born in Ukraine, and she has relatives there as well. And since 1991, the first time I could travel to a free Ukraine, I'd been there probably about 40 times. So at first I went to see my family, then I went because I missed my friends. So now all those friends are in danger of being wiped out.
For The Pulse, I'm Christian Abraham in Stamford.
Christian Abraham also went to South Norwalk to meet art gallery owner Oksana Tanasev, where she held a fundraiser to help the people in her homeland.
So we have event today in my gallery, Oksana Tanasyev Gallery, and I present a collection of different artists, like a group show today, and a group show called Art for Ukraine. So we have around like 8 pieces of art donated from artists, and 100% from selling of these pieces go to Ukraine and people in need, to the front line, to the hospitals, and the military equipment for the for the army of Ukraine. I am born in Ukraine. I lived in Ukraine until 26. I immigrated from Ukraine. I am from Ternopil, which is on the west of Ukraine. It's not attacked by Russians yet. It's not bombed, thanks God. And right now I'm in the United States. I love it, but my heart today is with my people and my homeland where I was born. All my family is in Ukraine. My dad, my mom, my friends, my relatives, and they suffer a lot. We hope this will stop soon, and the whole world together with us, united, that makes us feel so proud of our fight. Then we appreciate the world with us. And I hope today people will help to raise enough money to join this charity and to help people even more in Ukraine.
Coming up after the break, we'll head to Bridgeport to see how locals are trying to save a farm. And then a deeper look into the NPR radio station right here on campus.
In Bridgeport, a farm is facing possible eviction by city officials. Organizers of a rally in support of the farm hope to nip it in the bud. I have the story. On a brisk Saturday morning on Reservoir Avenue in Bridgeport, Connecticut, community members joined a rally in support of the Reservoir Community Farm. Operated by the Green Village Initiative, or GVI, the farm has produced thousands of pounds of produce each year, which has been sold to the community at an affordable price for the past 10 years. Right now, though, the Green Village Initiative faces a new lease, as the previous lease has expired. With the new lease, there are a few new proposed terms, which immediately caught the attention of GVI. The new lease states that the agreement can be terminated at any time, and the tenants evicted without reason. The document also includes a development rights clause. As the name suggests, the clause grants the city the right to develop on all or part of the land. Officials have assured the tenants that if they choose to build on the land, it will be to build a new library. The participants at the rally did acknowledge the value a library would bring to the neighborhood. Still, they insist that the city should not interfere with the great benefit of fresh produce that the farm provides.
Green spaces are crucial for cities like Bridgeport because we are in severe lack of these. And they are super important for people's mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. So when you hear green spaces, it's not just parks, not just farms, it's not just nature preserves, it's all those together and how we use all those different spaces to live in harmony with nature and the people around us.
GVI was not in attendance of the rally, and instead, the event was led by the Bridgeport Green Space Coalition, a group of Bridgeport organizations and members of the community who are demanding the following items from Bridgeport City Council. An extension to rewrite the GVI lease renewal agreement, a task force to research more sustainable options for the proposed library, and the 99-year lease for GVI, including a restriction for building on the land.
And although I love this city with every fiber of my being, it really sickens me to think about the destruction that's been done to our planet. And in the name of capitalism, I ask you, how much is enough? We should be protecting the food source that's here, that's grown by people, so that we don't have to be dependent upon food that comes from grocery stores that's lost nutritional value. The food here is good, it's grown here, and we build community through growing our food here together.
Let's stick to getting a good contract for the garden, and then we'll work on trying to marriage the library up here, because they do need a library up here. We got 4 or 5 schools, no library.
Across the street.
And as they chanted, members of the crowd pointed at what they call a viable alternative option, a parcel of land where a house stands empty, blighted, and unattended, located right across the street from the farm.
Yes, that space over there could be a viable entity, but we, the council, cannot determine if the library board is going to build a library. They have to decide to build a library. So when we talk about supporting green spaces, you have friends on the council who support green spaces. You have friends that have fought for gardens for a very long time. This lady right here, all they tell her is, Maria, we can't turn every empty lot into a community garden because that is her goal. Okay. That has been her goal for a very long time. Green spaces! Green spaces! I needed spaces! I needed spaces!
While the future of the farm may be unclear, the coalition will continue its efforts to harvest support to protect the land from development and to defend GVI against possible eviction. For The Pulse, Josue Jorge, Bridgeport. The Green Village Initiative has started a petition which has currently been signed by over 700 supporters. To sign the petition, visit change.org and search Bridgeport Reservoir Community Farm.
Now we will send it over to Natalie DeSenza for her story on the public radio station here on campus. Natalie, you and I share something in common. We're both news fellows at WSHU.
Yeah, so for the last 6 months, I've been working as a news fellow at WSHU alongside Claire and other Sacred Heart students. It's been a wonderful opportunity to make connections, learn more about production, and get a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on to make programs happen. I want to take everyone on an inside look at the station. Just steps from Sacred Heart University's main campus sits WSHU Public Radio, the national public radio affiliate in Fairfield, Connecticut. Going inside, the first floor is home to public safety. The second floor has offices, conference rooms, and a performance hall. It's on the third floor where you'll find numerous editing booths, a roof that overlooks the campus, and the newsroom. But this wasn't always WSHU's home. In 1987, WSHU moved from the main academic building into a house on Jefferson Street.
It was a Cape Cod-style house with sort of a two-car garage kind of a thing. Two-car garage was turned into studios. A couple of the bedrooms were turned into studios. Offices were scattered in the living room, the sun porch, upstairs in what was a bedroom, couple of bedrooms. And it was, we used it heavily, to say the least. I think it was held together with miles and miles and miles of copper wire. That's what kept it up.
WSHU moved into its new home on Park Ave in 2018. But due to the coronavirus, news director and editor Terry Sheridan said that most of their staff had to start working remotely in 2020.
The pandemic was hard on the station. First of all, we had to shut down the newsroom here at the station. Everyone had to go home. So we had to do all our reporting, from home. So we had to figure out how to do that because we had to record on Zoom. We had to record off of Skype. We had to record off of phones. And we don't really have the studio equipment at home. So we had to, for lack of a better term, jerry-rig a system where the reporters can do their work from home and then file it into the station. During the height of the pandemic, the only people who were allowed in the building were the hosts and the production director. Everyone else, worked from home.
Now that most of the staff is back working under the same roof, new podcasts are in the works and existing podcasts are getting picked up for new seasons, including J.D. Allen's Higher Ground.
It has been a really exciting drop. We got to do a national special, which was the first time ever that WSHU got to do that. And now we're starting season 2, and we've got a whole lot of learned lessons on how to kind of replicate this model again. It's just all about doing it now. So there's a lot of excitement.
Along with being editors and news directors, JD and Terry both share another thing in common. Their favorite part of the job is working with students from Sacred Heart University, Stony Brook University, and Yale University.
I really, really love working with interns and fellows. I am a journalism instructor at a couple different universities in the area, and I had a lot of great mentors when I was in that position as an undergrad, as a graduate student, and so being able to, help pass the torch and bring more young people and young people of different backgrounds into public media and media at large is really rewarding.
I get pride out of, the students who come through the program and do go on to do great things. Because again, I know that in some part, I have played a part in their professional development. So whenever we hear of students who do good, from past years, it's always that's something that gives me pride.
If you're interested in being an intern or news fellow for the fall, you can send your resume to either Terry or Professor Alacastro. In Fairfield, Connecticut for the Pulse Plus, I'm Natalie DeSenza.
To listen to the podcast or tune into the radio station, visit their website at www.wshu.org.
The mission of $1 Million Smile is to spread awareness and rally dialogue around the impacts of gun violence. Anaya Vance is here in the studio with very special guest, Wilner P. Joseph.
Hi, Will. Thank you for joining us today on The Pulse. Tell me about $1 Million Smile and the message behind the brand.
Thank you for having me. The message behind the brand was we created $1 Million Smile in 2017 in honor of my brother Max Antoine, who was brutally gunned down in downtown Bridgeport. And I decided to turn my pain into purpose by figuring out a cool way to spread a message to a clothing brand. So my brother Max, who went to FIT, who was into fashion, I just thought this would be a great way to, be able to keep his legacy alive by doing something to honor his name, and also just giving other families the opportunity to be able to see that you can turn your pain into purpose by doing something positive.
Right. And how do you continuously try to spread the message?
Through various events, pop-up shops, a lot of different social media outlets, interviews and podcasts, things of that nature.
You also run an organization called Young Athletes for Change for Children.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Young Athletes for Change was created in 2017. Originally we had a nonprofit called Hoops for All, which we started young athletes to switch up the mission to make it more broad. And young athletes, pretty much, we bring advocacy to the center court by highlighting things that are impacting our youth, which is gun violence, mental health. Also providing mentoring programs. Also we have a support group called Reflections.
And why is it so important for you to spread the message in your community?
Well, the importance is just giving these kids an opportunity to be able to have hope, and just showing them the future is very bright.
Well, thank you so much for joining the show and for all you do with the community.
Thank
Back
you so
to
much.
you guys.
Up next, a look into Sacred Heart's own pep band, women pursuing careers in STEM, and a visit to SHU's beautiful art gallery. All that coming up next.
After all your hard work, the studying, practices, and rehearsals, you deserve the best for what's next. The best in Connecticut higher education. Outstanding nursing and health professions programs, premier learning facilities and world-class tech labs, a nationally ranked business school, modern residential, social, and recreational facilities, championship D1 athletics, and pro-level performing arts. Make your next step the best step. Apply now to Sacred Heart University.
A road trip to new destinations is always fun, but even more so when traveling with the band and musicians that has been the support group for Sacred Heart sports teams all year. Stefan Ayanian has more.
On a cold morning, the Sacred Heart Pep Band loaded up the bus and traveled to Central New York and Rochester, making it the first trip they've been on since March of 2020.
I think it's really cool to be able to contribute to it because this is college and this is we all have a limited amount of time here and you want to make the best of it while you are here. So I'm really excited to have this because not all teams get this.
The band arrived in Rochester Institute of Technology for the men's Atlantic Hockey Tournament, where the Pioneers took on the Tigers in a contentious 3-game series battle. The action had everything, from great saves to block shots, a few scuffles in between, and a goal to get the band fired up and play their hearts out. For the band, the experience to travel together on these long trips is an indelible part of their college lives, something memorable for them to feel proud of.
Band is like a big family in a way. We're like always together. We're always doing something throughout the week. I'd never go
like a week without seeing band people. So going and traveling and getting food at restaurants and doing this and that definitely helps me and other band members build connections with each other and make memories in the long run.
Director Keith Johnston has always been appreciated for the band's support they bring on these trips.
A game is more than just two teams out playing to see who wins. A game is an experience. And the band is a critical part of that experience, and the coaches get that, and the team members do as well. So, you know, whenever we get emails from the coaches, whether it's CJ or Latina or Minetti, it just speaks to them that they understand how integral and integrated every different component is of the game day experience.
With winter sports seasons coming to an end, the band program is preparing for the spring concert featuring John Williams music, where you can watch the same people in the Pep Band perform here at the Egerton Theater on stage. In Fairfield, Connecticut for The Pulse, I'm Stefan Ayanian.
The science, technology, engineering, and mathematics field has exploded since the turn of the century. With the job market expanding and more women than ever finding their place in the field, our own Dahlia Jennings and Molly Ingram checked in with some of Sacred Heart's own women in STEM.
While women are steadily making gains in STEM occupations, they still only make up 27% of the American STEM workforce, according to the 2019 census. Today, we spoke with two women from Sacred Heart's new immersive media and mixed reality program to learn more about what it means to be part of that 27%. Professor Wang, who leads the immersive media and mixed reality major at SHU, gave us an all-access pass to the behind the scenes of the IMMR program. First, we got a tour from David Neer, who manages the equipment.
Two sections. It is the VR lab, which is this side, and then the AR lab, which is the other side.
Ella, an IMMR student who frequently uses the lab, spoke to us about her unique experiences in the program.
I came to Sacred Heart wanting to be in the communications field. I was kind of interested in social media and also a little bit in PR and advertising, so I took a few courses in that sort of realm, and I also did a few other basic communications classes, and I kind of fell in love with digital editing. And when I went to my advisor and asked him what I should do to kind of follow that field, he offered me the Immersive Media Mixed Reality program.
Professor Wang says that the program prepares students for all kinds of careers.
So I think it just opens up this whole door for students who are interested in emerging tech and then also have a creative edge to it.
While women make up almost 50% of the American workforce, they are only 27% of STEM fields. Ella told us about what that statistic means to her.
Since most of my classes are men and there are not a lot of women in my major, it is something where I struggle to, find people that have the same hobbies or interests as me, but it kind of makes my work stand out. So people will do stuff on sports, or maybe they're doing like videos on video games or something, and a lot of the males in the room can relate more to that sort of stuff, but I can't, so I kind of have to take things out of the box and do a little bit my own creative twist, and it kind of helps me stand out. It does feel a little like I wish there were more females in the industry or in the field, because it would be awesome to see what other works can be made and like what a female perspective can do to such a broad major that we have, because you can kind of do anything with this major, and it would be really awesome to see more females in the immersive media major.
Professor Wang provided advice for her female students as an experienced woman in the field.
So I would definitely encourage any female who are interested in the STEM field, who are interested in technology, just really go out and explore.
For The Pulse, Molly Ingram and Dahlia Jennings, Fairfield.
Sacred Heart student artists will get a chance to show off their work this month. The Department of Art and Design kicked off a student exhibition at the gallery inside the Edgerton Center for the Performing Arts. John Kane has the story.
Sacred Heart's Department of Art and Design helps prepare the artists of tomorrow with the kind of training they need to succeed in today's high-tech world. The department held its annual Student Awards ceremony to kick off a month-long exhibit showing off the students' best work of the year. Senior Madison Larstana says what makes the department great is the diversity of the faculty.
The many benefits of being part of like the art and design program here at Sacred Heart is you really get a full like broad spectrum of like the different fields you can go into, like illustration, graphic design, and you can really like explore the different like avenues of what you might want to go into when you graduate.
Senior Deanna Swanson took first place in the category of Advanced Illustration for her work, Street Warrior. Deanna says what makes the program special is its small size.
The strengths 100% is how individualized it is, because it's a smaller department. No, it's a fantastic department. Like, the size does not affect anything. Because it's small, they can spend a lot of individual time on each student, each person. And it really helps in the growing and understanding and really developing as an artist.
The student art exhibition will be on display through April 30th in the lobby of the Edgerton Center for the Performing Arts, so take an opportunity to go check out some of their finest achievements. I am John Kane for the Pulse Plus.
Well, that's our show. We hope you enjoyed it.
We'll see you next time on The Pulse.